Hi, this is Jeremy Schiefling, the founder and chief nerd of Break Into Tech, and I'm here to help you land a customer success job. So let's start with a key reality, which is that, for many MBAs, customer success is often a backup job to things like product management. Now, you know already that CS is every bit as important to a company's success as PM, but you have to let recruiters know that you understand that too. Because if your resume or LinkedIn profile is all about another role, they're not going to see you as a serious candidate. Instead, recruiters are going to assume that you'll bail out on the process just as soon as a PM offer comes your way. So if you really are serious about customer success, definitely lead with that from the get-go. You'll stand out big time. And once you make that your headline, here's how to optimize the rest of your profile. Because whether you're building a CS resume or a LinkedIn profile or a set of behavioral interview answers, the role really does come down to 4 competencies. Number 1, can you build relationships with key stakeholders on both the client and product teams? Both are critical. Number 2, can you build and lead implementation roadmaps like a rock star project manager? Not just say, hey, I'll help you succeed, but actually lead that success. Number 3, can you effectively train up diverse adult learners even if they're not always motivated to learn? Not every end user is going to be excited about the product as the person who purchased it, but you've got to get them excited because your excitement is contagious. And then 4th and finally, can you measure client success and pinpoint areas for improvement? Because if you can apply analytics to a client, you can figure out what's working and what's not and improve upon the latter. So if you can think of stories that touch on each of these pillars, you're going to have an incredible foundation to build upon. And to get you going, here are some examples in each of those areas. So as you can see, for every single one of these pillars, we're coming up with the keywords and the key skills, whether it's building relationships or designing onboarding processes, and we're also demonstrating clear impact, 95% adoption, reducing ticket volume by 36%, showcasing the impact that you've had, even in roles that weren't called CS, but that had related skills. And once you've got these great bullets and stories ready, it's time to help prep for the CS case interview. Because even if you've never done CS before, your prospective employer is going to be curious to see whether you understand the role and whether you have the right instincts to tackle these challenging situations. So imagine that you're interviewing for a job as the CS manager at Adobe in charge of the Slack relationship. And then, out of the blue, you hear that Slack is thinking of canceling their subscription to Adobe's Creative Cloud. What would you do about it? Well, rather than dive into solution mode, you want to take a step back and think first about the customer's need. For instance, maybe your contact at Slack tells you that the design team is moving in a new direction, away from Photoshop-based lifestyle photography and towards more illustration, more animation. But since Photoshop isn't a good fit for that style of design, they're thinking about moving to a new platform. Now, with this key client insight in mind, you next want to devise a full plan to bring them back into the Adobe fold. Not only do you plan to train the Slack team on Adobe Illustrator for the very first time, you also set key milestones and metrics for driving adoption throughout the Slack design hierarchy, even calling upon key evangelists to participate in train-the-trainer sessions to spread the word further. And then finally, having earned your contact's buy-in with this plan, you want to set up a full series of check-in meetings to measure progress, while at the same time going back to your PM and PMM counterparts at Adobe to let them know that Illustrator awareness may be a potential weak point that needs to be addressed in the product roadmap and in the marketing plan. So, like any case answer, don't sweat having the quote-unquote right answer, because there is no such one. Instead, use a framework like this one to showcase your full understanding of the role, and then also flex some of those key skills that a CS manager needs. Your relational skills, your analytical skills, and your project management skills. If you can do those things, you're going to do well. Now, to help you practice, here's another question for you to ponder. Imagine that you're a Slack CS manager and that Haas has just signed a subscription contract. How do you roll out Slack across Haas to ensure both short-term and long-term success? And again, avoid the temptation to go right into solutions and instead start by focusing on customer needs and then build out an onboarding plan, a training plan, and a follow-up plan. And better yet, don't do this by yourself. Practice with a friend or talk to a Haas industry expert so you can get great feedback as you go along. And then after you've mastered this one, head over to Glassdoor for even more extensive set of practice questions. So good luck with your practice, good luck with your interviews, and I'm excited to see you break into the awesome world of CS.